Well,
we're here
in stew
for what can only be described as the most momentous occasion in floundering history.
Some would call it a very big day.
It's a very big day, and it's hashtag Floundering 50.
It's Floundering 50.
You've heard of SNL 50. Maybe you've even heard of Survivor 50.
But this is kind of entirely different.
This is a whole different ballgame because those people have been doing their craft for 50 years, 50 seasons. We're here at 50 episodes.
50 episodes over the course of how many years? 2, 3?
3.
3 and change.
And it really feels like it should be more than 50.
It, at this point, should actually be double that, but we've taken summer breaks.
We take breaks. We take winter break. We take fall break.
And ultimately, that space is where new growth arrives to us. So it's a beautiful thing that actually it's only 50 episodes.
Right. When the earth is fallow, that's when it's regenerating the soil.
That's when the reaping and sowing occurs here at Floundering LLC.
Right. So we are thrilled to be here. It was reminding me a little bit of my gym journey because on my gym app, the app that I use to get inside the gym, it tallies, it tells you how many times you've been to the gym ever in this year. And every time I would go, it would only go up one more time. And I said, feels like I should get like 2 or 3.
There should be a multiplier on that.
Yeah,
especially for like rainy days or days where you don't want to go. It's like I actually went 5 times on the day.
Or like days that I did a little bit more.
Of course.
It's like I should get more credit. It shouldn't be the same as the day that I half-assed it.
I think if you go over what I consider like a standard workout these days, I'm like 45 minutes, that's good. If I'm crossing that threshold, I should be getting a badge somewhere on my app. I should at least have a person kind of like concierge service see me out.
Right. There should be like a cool towels for me.
Totally.
Just like a little tray of like eucalyptus towels.
That says Carey at 50.
That says Carey 50 times.
Carey 50 times.
Whatever. But it was annoying and it was getting me a little down because I was like, damn, I feel like I'm working out every day, but it only goes up 1 every day.
Yeah. And sometimes with this podcast, I'm like, so we've recorded 50 episodes, but why does it only feel like 30? You know what I mean? It's like counting backwards a little bit for me.
You feel like it's only been 30?
Do you feel like it's been like 350?
Yes. Just because of how much we've grown in this time.
Totally. You know what's funny though? I feel like each season I'm like, I know we're counting up from Genesis, the Old Testament, but every season I'm like brand new, clean slate.
Well, yeah.
Starting over.
Also, like, I'm actually not convinced this is the 50th episode. Like, I know it is, but
I know I do think that there might have been like a miscount.
Well,
when we like when we had the idea to be like, oh my God, all of our for our new cover art and for our new like social promo, we should just count total episodes.
Right. We don't have to do season 3, episode 8. It can just be episode 49.
And so then, of course, that launched us into going into our Google Drive and, of course, peek behind the curtain, trying to count out every episode that we've had. And
I feel like I counted from like the app, like Spotify for Podcasters app.
Okay. Yeah.
But then also we had a couple of re-releases. So
we did.
But I think I didn't count those.
But that's okay.
Look, if it's not 50, no one needs to tell us that.
If it's not 50, it's something even cooler,
it's
like
55. Yeah, or like 53.
Or even 53.
Yeah.
So
that's a prime
in
number,
any case, we've reached a big milestone here. We're in our 50th decade, and that's really impressive work. And actually, I have my Google Drive to blame because I have been getting messages for basically the past like 7 months that I'm out of storage.
Oh, yeah.
And every single time I go in and like try to delete the recommended files, they're always recommending Floundering to me.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not getting rid of those.
Because it's big files.
Because those are big, of course, they're big files with a lot of heart too. Right. Big files, big heart.
Well, and of course, they don't want us to be spreading our message.
Of course.
Of joy and laughter and love throughout the world.
Of course. It's like, it's Big Brother with their hands around our necks. But the 3 that I wanted to talk to you about today, or just reminisce about, were, do you remember COVID years where we were just yearning for each other? And so we would Zoom and like kind of record podcasts.
Yeah, that was our trial run.
We were so incapable of just like hopping on the phone and catching up with each other that we were like, do you want to record a pod today?
No, this is, yeah. I mean, that's the whole genesis of this podcast was like, how do we stay in touch?
How do we stay in touch despite all the extraneous factors around us wanting that not to be so?
Right.
How do we find each other again?
And honestly, it has worked because genuinely, like when we're not recording, it's as though we don't exist to each other.
So that's a problem.
Sure.
But I would like to address at some point.
Hey, look, I'm here. You're the one who's jet setting off to Adirondacks.
Upstate New York. Yeah. Totally. Oh my God, big news. My car hit 100,000 miles.
Oh my God, on the same day of Survivor, or on the same day of Floundering 50.
The same day of Floundering 50. I know, it's kind of like the universe was like, you're gonna be cresting into some unforeseen territory.
That's like a literal milestone.
Wow.
I don't know where the term milestone came from, but I imagine it has to do with miles.
I imagine that stones used to be used to mark miles. Maybe, it probably
they would throw stones.
Always traces back to the Olympics, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that miles were marked by stones in Athens.
And that's why they call it that.
Yeah. And actually, you don't even need to look up where the genesis, because I think we got it right
because
here.
if the AI overview says that it's not, that's not what it is, those things are always wrong.
Oh my God, 100%.
You should trust a human over that.
Yeah. In fact, I've been going like super analog, where I'm like, okay, if the AI search result is telling me X, Y, and Z, like, I'm going to Google page 17 just to see if I can find something that validates it.
Yeah.
I'm finding that the most reliable information is like 3 turns past the fold.
I agree with that. And I also just appreciate the kind of DIY nature of what you find down there. Because earlier today, in preparation for this podcast, I, of course, was Googling 50 numerology meanings.
Oh, and what did you uncover?
Well, so the AI overview was giving me stuff, and I was like, no, I want like a witch's blog.
Yes.
I want it to be like, old timey style. Like,
I want a
blog spot.
WordPress blog page with like a deep purple background and like the most illegible curly Q font.
Yeah. I want it to be a purple background with yellow font.
Yes.
And like, those little like pixelated like images almost that were like on the old internet.
Yeah, of course.
Like kind of like before GIFs were GIFs, they were like these like pixelated
I was going to say the
cartoons.
page has to take 45 minutes to load because there's one GIF of like a chameleon that the author insisted on including on the page.
Because it has to do with 50.
Of course.
I was learning that 50, of course, distills down to 5. 5 is like the number of change, adventure, freedom, things like that. So 50 kind of like maximizes those powers.
Oh, interesting.
And then 0, I think, is like a very spiritual number because it's like the void. So I just think that says like, guys, go for it. Guys, you're doing great.
Guys, don't stop. We're screaming it from the rooftop, girls. The crowd's going wild.
Make it to like at least episode 52.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, I think we have 100 in us for sure.
100 would mean 3 more years of this, which look, I'm here.
Not going anywhere, sister.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
Okay.
But back to numbers. I've been seeing like a lot of chatter online right now about like, I think the synesthesia community is like really rising to the surface on Threads specifically. And one in particular that I'm always getting is like, what do you think each month's color is?
Okay.
Which, whatever, we don't have to do that. But I am curious. I associate certain numbers with certain feelings.
Okay.
Like 4, for example, I picture as like kind of a girly number.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Okay.
Just kind of like feminine. It's like a feminine, round, even keeled number. 5 to me is strong. Like 5 is an authoritative, strong, like it feels foundational.
Right. I mean, the numerology page that I was on was talking about like how our hands have 5 fingers and toes, whatever. Like 5 is why is it 5 when you think about it?
No,
why did we evolve to have 5?
Like, and presumably something had to make that decision.
Right. And was it God?
Who knows, mama?
See, these are the questions we need to be asking.
And you know what's interesting about that too is like, if the powers that be decided that it was 3, this would be a 3-finger society. Mm-hmm. Everything in society would be built for 3 fingers.
Right.
And yet
there's 5.
There's 5.
And so everything's built for 5.
Everything's built for 5 fingers and opposable thumbs.
And when you think about it, it's just like, damn, that 5 is sort of inherent to us. Like it's in the same way I think that 2 is inherent to us. Because like we have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 feet, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 arms, whatever. Like 2 is essential and 5 is then the offshoot of 2.
Right, of course.
4, it's funny that you say 4 is feminine because I actually view 4 as quite masculine.
Whoa.
But mostly because of my tarot background, I feel like.
Sure.
Not that it's masculine in tarot, but it's this number of stability.
And which makes sense, 4 walls.
4 walls, 4 like legs on a table kind of vibe. And so for some reason that to me translates as masculine, which is probably my own like inner sort of subconscious bias there that I think. Of
course. That's something all women like structural. Something structural has to, of course, be
a man, because only a man can build a table with 4 legs.
We know that for sure.
And we know that.
We know that.
That's just history and science.
Yeah. Well, I'm going based on no background at all, just purely what exists in the ether of my little cranium.
Can I ask you just about Floundering 50? And I had sent you a little blurb of something that I was noodling on earlier.
Yes.
About, this obviously being an external milestone, but wanting to reflect upon the inner growth that we have each experienced over these past 50 episodes. Mm-hmm. And I want to know, like, how do you feel you have evolved as a person over Floundering 50 episodes?
Okay, well, I was thinking a lot about this because in clearing out my Google Drive and upon being prompted to delete some of our old stuff, I have listened to maybe like the first 7 minutes of a few of them just to kind of tease out, is this something that I should keep or delete? Mm-hmm. I've kept all of them. But I think what's extremely clear to me listening back is how hungry I was. We both were, but specifically I was, to prove to people that this was going to be a funny podcast.
Okay.
That this was going to be Chuckle City, USA. And it's so clear in listening how strained I sound, like how focused I am on just that one end goal. And I think some of the evolution that I've gone through over the course of this pod, and I don't know if you agree, but I'm so at peace with this being what it is, which is maybe sometimes funny, but also for the most part, just like inquisitive and curious, and us being able to catch up as friends, because as we've discussed, like we don't exist outside of this basement.
White.
White. And check white. That's correct. So I think a lot of my personal evolution is like learning how to be creative in a way that's separate from funny. Because I think going into this project, I was so convinced that it had to be both. And I think I feel that the show has gotten only stronger because I've started to let go of that idea more over the course of it.
That's interesting. I see that for you. I definitely feel like,
there's no life in your eyes anymore, for sure, mama.
No, it's like very dull in here. I'm just not feeling any kind of energy going on.
Yeah.
No, my first instinct actually, when I hear you say that, is to apologize for ways in which I have made it not funny, because I feel like I can be serious with it and
or whatever.com.
And like I'm also as it's important to me that people think this is funny or people have fun listening to it.
And people do.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what maybe that's the lesson, is like we are inherently, tooting my own horn. We are inherently entertaining people, and like people come to this podcast to be entertained, and it's in the furniture. Like it's written in the stars that when people listen to the show, they will smile and feel connected to us and enjoy themselves. And I don't have to expend all of this like energy exhausting myself trying to prove to people that that's going to be the case.
Yeah, I definitely think in general it's like much less of a performance than it was when we first started, which I think is natural as you go on. I also feel like you have, I wonder if you would relate to this, or maybe this is off, but you have like a touch of the Matthew Perry like blessing / affliction of like, I don't know if you ever saw the Friends, I think it was like the 20-year, 25-year like reunion thing that they did. But he talked a lot about how like he realized, of course, through the show how he was being received as being really funny and everyone loves him and he makes everyone laugh. And he talked a lot about how like, although that felt amazing, it also brought him a lot of like internal pressure to get a really big laugh every time. And like he started to feel when other people would get laughs, like that he was not as good as them, or he would just feel like shit after that. And it's like your like neurosis comes from the fact that you are so talented and funny naturally. But like, of course, you know, that comes with its own set of like pressures.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, it's also just like if you're told you're one thing for a really long time, you start to assign so much value to that one thing where you can, the second you feel like you're not that thing, you feel like you've lost all of your value, which is, of course, not true. But if people like spending time with you and are gassing you up because you are this quality, you do feel a certain pressure to rise to that occasion every time you're with someone, because it's like, oh, this is like, this is the value I am bringing you. And I think what I've learned over the course of the show is that like I guess I've been treating that for a long time like a commodity, like that's something that I offer, and then I can walk away from an interaction feeling like extremely depleted because I gave a lot. And I feel like this show has kind of like actually nourished me the other way.
Love that.
You know what I mean? Where I feel like it's not just like an act of giving everything I have anymore. It's like learning what kind of conversations make me feel, I don't know, more valued and whole.
Yeah. I feel like we have such a safe space here.
We do.
Where like as much as like we are funny naturally and we have a natural thing, we can just kind of talk about whatever. And I feel for my own journey, it's been really good for me to feel like I have a place where like I can go in the weird places that my mind goes, and you let me, and you don't like look at me funny when I make like a weird connection or something. Cause I feel like sometimes people are always like, what are you talking about? Like,
no, if anything, I'm like, oh my God, thank you for expanding the boundaries of my brain because I exist, as we all know, at the surface, of course.
As of course we all do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been an amazing 50 episodes.
It has. Well, I'm also curious too, like how do you feel like your creative process has changed? Because you are like full stop a creative, like you are a creative full time.
Yeah.
But I'm curious how your creative process has changed over the course of this endeavor.
Yeah. Well, I feel like starting Floundering also coincided with me starting to like post online a little bit more and like make videos on TikTok, and all of it has sort of come together to really just force me to not have an ego about stuff anymore. And like, I mean, the biggest difference that I can think about from the early days of doing this podcast to now is in the editing.
Oh my God. Yes.
Because when we, I mean, you can go back and listen to like our first couple episodes where it was Chop City.
Oh my God. Chopped and screwed.
Chopped and screwed.
I literally would edit like the beginning of something that I said and then add something from like 15 minutes down the line.
Yeah. It was giving like Picasso.
Oh my God. Guernica.
Yeah, it was giving Guernica for sure.
Yeah, no, everything was jumbled and confused.
And like I feel like even now, when I go to edit, it's like I make 2 little cuts, add the intro music, add the transitions, and it's like,
yeah, I'm like, guess what? Flawless conversation.
Right.
No notes as always.
And I think just like even in the listening back, I have so much more like grace for myself. I never of course, I never turn my critical lens on you. It's always only on me. And I feel
likewise, of course. Yeah.
But in the past, I feel like when I would listen, I mean, it's so excruciating to listen to yourself talk.
Of course. This is inherently a like humiliating exercise, what we're doing. But I've learned to become more gentle.
Yeah.
With the process.
Yeah. Yeah. And not needing to edit out every single time there's a longish pause or I don't say things right. It's like,
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I was like editing out 7-minute chunks because I like called some famous figure Anne instead of Anna, where I was like, actually, that whole thing has to go. I'm an idiot.
Yeah. It's funny because I don't know if you have been, and this might be slight pivot, but I don't know if you've kept up with any of the drama with like Drew Offwallow.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's a situation where that's like a worst nightmare situation for a podcaster where like something that you said, you didn't say it quite right, first of all. And it's like a big conversation. It got clipped out by somebody, a year later.
Yep.
And with no context. And you look like an idiot.
Yep.
Luckily, no one listens to our podcast in such a way that they are doing that to us. But like, it's funny because I think as in the beginning, you're so stressed about that, about like saying the wrong thing.
Totally.
And now,
it's funny. Like the only like quote unquote backlash I'll ever get is like my mom reaching out and being like, I didn't like that you talked about yourself that way.
Right. That's not,
you were
not
really
to my daughter.
hard on yourself. And I didn't appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course, you swing big sometimes and you miss big. I'm really sorry to the Benson Boone community. We really agitated you guys.
But at the same time, it's like everyone shits on that guy. We were not even original in that content.
No, certainly not.
So I don't feel bad about that. If anything, I think we could be agitating people a little bit more.
Yes.
For the clicks and the likes.
Agreed. I mean, again, we can count on our God-given 5 fingers, probably the number of times that we've aggravated people. The guy who accused us of blabbing.
Right.
We did aggravate a few people when we talked about metals when Charlie was on the podcast, and we were like, how can some metals be good and others bad?
Oh, people thought we were really stupid.
We're like, you dumb bitches.
But whatever.
Retire your brains and don't donate them to science.
Yeah, and then there was the one time that we did get a strike on our TikTok account for talking about Luigi.
Totally.
My bad.
Totally.
Sorry that I wanted to stand for my man.
Yeah, who's really like, he's working through it right now.
And by the way,
press.
Jury selection for his state trial starts on my birthday, famously. So
talk about
girlies know what I'll be wishing for.
Talk about
and it's going to be a jury full of leftist
sympathetic
freaks.
gals. Yeah, totally. So not entirely sure how. Oh, of course, we were there because we were talking about our infractions. But I would say net, we've, we speak our truth. And what I've learned actually is that the more that we've spoken our truth and the more that we've posted the clips that are funny to us, like, I just feel like we've been greeted with a lot of like kindness and warmth.
Yeah.
Which to me has signaled like we're doing the right thing. Like we're on the right path.
I agree. I think like in terms of looking ahead, I would love to have more success.
I'm talking numbers, baby.
I'm talking like, because we've been stalled out in terms of followers on, like, for example, on TikTok, I think we have like 75 followers.
Don't talk to me about TikTok. I actually had to unfollow some people because I was like, this ratio is messed up.
Yeah, no, it's like really bad. So if you like this podcast, follow us on TikTok. Yeah, I think we pour so much love into this endeavor.
Yeah.
And of course, it was always for us and it will always be for us.
Of course.
But when we get feedback from people telling us that they love the podcast and how it makes them feel and like how it brings them joy and makes them laugh. Like that feels really good.
Yeah.
And I want to spread that gospel to the rest of the world.
I know. I just feel like, because of course, like I want growth, obviously, but I mostly just think that more people would really enjoy this show.
Everybody loves good hang. No one can get enough of good hang. Guess what? When you're done with good hang, come over here.
What is this that we're doing?
We're not famous celebrities, but people don't even like those guys anymore.
I know.
It's all about the degular person.
Come here, hang with the normies for a while.
Yeah.
Get in the trenches with us. Because this little tepid water.
We are really talented, and there's a lot of people just in general in the world. Like, there's so much talent that's not celebrity.
Totally.
And I much prefer that.
Oh my God, 1000%. I find non-celebrity talent so much more impressive.
Same.
For example, there was this girl today on TikTok who was playing the bass line of Kehlani's Folded.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you are a superstar. I put on my weird little producer glasses, like kind of tinted pink.
Yeah. You said,
my blazer and my clipboard. And I said, you're coming with me.
You're going to Hollywood.
One-way ticket to the top.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so much mediocrity amongst celebrities.
Oh my God, completely.
So it's like, let's get some eyeballs over here.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are going to have a good time.
Can promise you that.
Yeah.
Can promise you that. And then one last thing on this being our 50th is that if you are arriving to this podcast for the first time, which is, say it with me, unlikely. We love our few and our proud listeners. I recommend starting with the gift of Happenstance Gab, which I believe is season 1.
It is season 1.
It's like season 1, episode
8 or something.
But we describe in length our origin story. And then a couple other eps that I really love, which again got lost in the fray.
Mm-hmm.
I love the Pout Pout Fish.
So good.
If you're into childhood books and us kind of exploring the tropes and maybe the missteps of the authors, highly recommend the Pout Pout Fish. Its counterpart is The Kids Are All Right, or maybe not all right. Either way.
That was a long time ago.
Whatever. It's not important. It's somewhere in there. And then I gotta say, I think that this current season is some of our best work.
Yeah. I mean, we just continue to get better. So I think it's fun to go back and kind of watch us figure out what this is.
Totally. If you want any indication of that, take a quick scroll through some of our Instagram carousels and you'll know those girls are searching.
Yeah, they're seeking something.
And they haven't found it yet.
Yeah. No, still not. We'll always be on the hunt.
Of course.
For whatever it is that we are seeking out of this.
Of course. You guys have seen The Odyssey. This isn't a one and done affair.
Mm-mm.
We're going to have to turn some more men into pigs.
What are your hopes and dreams for the next, let's just say, year?
Well, I think that I would love to get some more cool, interesting, smart, funny guests on this show. I've been nothing but impressed and in love with all of the guests that we've had.
Mm-hmm.
They've all been so different and they've all brought so much cool insight to the table. And I have tried extremely hard to be friends with them afterwards. So yeah, I would say that guests. And I also just think that we need to lean into being a little bit more cringe about promotion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we got to get a little uncomfy with that.
I feel like I already am uncomfy with it, but
I know, but we post like once every 2 weeks and then we're like,
but
we're
that's
intolerable.
that's more of a capacity issue.
Right.
I feel.
Right.
Because, well, this is now becoming a business meeting, but we'll get back to you guys and we're
gonna figure it out. And also, you know, because there's probably 15 of you tuning into this, like, and presumably you guys have been around for the long haul. Like, what do you guys want to see?
Yeah,
just curious.
Let us know.
No wrong answers.
So yeah, what a wonderful moment for us.
I know. I was considering bringing us a little bottle of champagne, but instead let's pop the tops of our awalas.
Okay.
Pop it, sister. Cheers to you, mama. Well,
that was awesome.
That was great.
Well, I'm exhausted because I just got off of my shift of being an at-home juror in the Lindsay Clancy trial.
I thought you were going to say off your food co-op shift, and I was going to ask.
No, that's on Friday.
Okay, right. So I actually haven't been keeping up with like the beat by beat of the trial.
Don't worry. Don't worry, because I have.
Don't worry.
Despite the fact that after like day 1 or 2, I think it was maybe day 1. I texted my mom and I was like, I don't think I should do this. And by this, I mean be an at-home juror. Because it sent me into the darkest place. It's genuinely the worst thing that's ever happened in the world.
It is the real life kind of unfolding of Shutter Island.
It's like literal hell.
Yeah.
Nightmare fuel.
I feel like I don't even need to ask like where you stand, obviously, on the trial, but I'm also just, are you kind of like of the growing camp of people who are like, there's actually something maybe much deeper here with the dad?
I think that people have gone truly insane.
People have gone full psychosis on potential reasons this has happened.
Well, and like, that's why I posted a thread about this that people didn't really get, but like, this case was about a woman who went into postpartum psychosis.
Right.
But it has become about a society that is going into
psychosis. Yes.
Because like people are inventing things that don't exist. I've seen so many people who clearly aren't really watching the trial.
Yeah.
Making things up and saying things are true that have never been said.
I've seen a lot of people accusing Patrick, right?
Yeah.
Is his name, of like basically drugging her, of like basically being the one behind it.
People are accusing him of like, trigger warning, like sexually assaulting his 5-year-old daughter. It's sick.
People have lost the plot. I also think that something that's like continuing to stand out to me is like, wow, we really can't just believe that a woman can struggle that much.
Yeah.
Like we are so incapable of believing that women can be that sad, that there has to be 1,000 other theories as to why she did this.
Yeah.
Oh, she's evil. It was premeditated. There's some collusion between herself and her husband. It's like, actually, no, she was down so bad. She was so incapable of getting the help that she needed. She was ignored by so many medical professionals that's the rock bottom that she hit.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think where I land right now, currently, I think today was day 14 of testimony. I think it's very nuanced, as I think of all things, because I'm capable of holding two truths, at one time, which apparently most of the internet has no awareness of how to do.
Certainly not.
But like, it is possible that she did the act in a state of psychosis and that her husband sucks.
Totally.
Her ex-husband. Like, it is possible that he is a narcissistic asshole and abuser and was cheating on her, which I actually think all of those things are true. And that she still was the one who did this. And I think actually those behaviors on his part could have, contributed to her worsening condition. Like,
yes.
Because I've heard a lot of people sort of reference this and I kind of agree. Like, if she's already going through something like really, really bad mentally and emotionally, and then on top of that, her husband is like, I don't know, the way he was talking about it, I got the impression that like her issues were an inconvenience to him and his life, because like she was still full-time caretaking 3 kids when she had openly talked about having suicidal thoughts and wanting to harm her kids.
100%.
And it's like, you'd think that if you gave a singular fuck, you would make sure that your kids were safe somewhere else with your parents or her parents while she gets the help that she needs.
I think that's the part that's standing out to me the most, where I'm like, so you were actually okay with your wife, who is in like the middle of a psychotic break, being home alone with your children? Like, she's on 7 different types of medication. Like, given that whole track record, like, you're still okay with that? I don't know. Like, that just like, that doesn't feel good to me.
Right. I do get like negative vibes from him. And so I do understand why people have taken that and been like, he's a narcissist and he killed all of them and then he covered it up. And, you know, it doesn't make any sense logistically whatsoever.
No.
People have gone fully insane. But I agree with what you said about like just people, including him, like not even being able to comprehend someone's inner world becoming like that. Because I think so many straight men, okay, in particular, they don't have rich inner worlds.
Right.
So they just like take everything, you know, he describes her as like having gotten anxious. And it's like, it was way more than being anxious. Everyone is anxious.
No, totally. We live in a anxious, like that's kind of like the base state of like everyone.
You can't say that she was anxious. I'm sorry. Like I understand she was technically, but like you're anxious. I'm anxious. Everybody's anxious.
Yeah.
Like, we're all medicated for some shit. Like it's not sufficient.
I also think the part that was making me really sad was just how even medical professionals were like, this is normal. It's like, that's a problem then.
Yeah.
Like it's a problem then that it's normal to prescribe benzos and anti-anxiety medications and SSR, like for it to be normal to have a cocktail of 7 different things that you're taking just to not murder your children and yourself.
Literally.
That's a problem.
Right.
So I feel like it was dismissed up until the breaking point as this is, you know, you might be an edge case, but like this is all part of the process and like motherhood is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like dismissed until there was a point of no return, which to me is gutting. It's like, how much more proof do you need that I'm really not well?
Yeah. No, and I think it in a similar way to, well, I guess let me rephrase that. I think that because we have this trope in our culture of like super mom and like moms can do everything and like moms are amazing. They are. They're too amazing. You know what I mean? Like
totally.
they give off the impression that they can do this on their own.
Yeah.
And like and it's effortless for them.
Yeah.
And clearly that's not the case.
Yeah.
And I don't think Lindsay is like even like she's an extreme example, but of something that like I think most postpartum women experience.
100%. I think the reason why this trial is activating so many people is, the refusal to believe that any one of us could also get there, which by the way, we could. Postpartum psychosis is rare, but it's a real thing that happens to a significant number of people.
Yeah.
Postpartum depression affects like 1 in 3 women. It's just like that could have been anyone.
Right.
And she was just dealt like such an unfortunate hand of cards with the medical professional she had to deal with. And it just felt like she was really surrounded by people who just like dismissed and didn't know how to treat her.
Yeah. And I mean, all women, it seems like woman has a story of going to a health provider for some symptom and being like, oh, it's anxiety.
Totally.
Oh, have you been sleeping? Are you drinking water? It's
or we'll just prescribe you this thing without even having met you in person, without taking any of your blood, like really? Without doing any intake, like, oh, just take a Zoloft. Like, we'll start you on the smallest dose. And if it doesn't work, we'll up you.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you don't want to, like, I don't know, see me in person
right.
Or like ask if I have a, I don't know, history of abusing drugs like this. It's just, it's so easy to be ignored and mistreated in the medical field. And I thought the detail too, that she was a labor and delivery nurse was really interesting. Like she was so inundated with that.
Yeah. And that is what like a lot of people, like a lot of the conspiracy theorists, you know, are pointing to things that, you know, about her suicide attempt that like don't seem like they align with something that a nurse,
right?
Like a nurse would not cut this way, or a nurse would not crush up pills or something. I don't know.
I'm like, get a life, dude.
People
like,
well, that's the other thing that I feel like this whole case has like been really like throwing into sharp relief is like the bifurcation of timelines and like the way that we can literally be living in totally different realities with completely different set of facts.
I also love that they're holding her to the standard of a labor and delivery nurse when she's literally slitting her own
psychosis.
Wrists and throwing herself out of a window. It's like, she's not that person right now.
Also, like, yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyone who thinks it was Patrick, that doesn't really make sense. Like,
it's just, yeah. I go back to what I said before, which is just like, we are not as a society capable of believing women are actually struggling.
Yeah.
Like there has to be an ulterior motive. You know, there has to be, you know, some other reason or conspiracy or reason why this happened that isn't just the truth of it, which is like she just snapped. Like she was under too much pressure and she just snapped.
Yeah, it is. It's really interesting to me as like a cultural phenomenon. I didn't really even, because I remember when this happened originally, I did not know that they had like pressed charges and there was going to be a trial.
Yeah.
And that the fact that the trial is being like televised so that we can all, you know, stop doing our jobs and just focus on this.
How old is she, by the way?
She's 35, I believe. So this all happened like when she was our age.
She's so young.
Yeah.
Like mother of 3 at our age that's really crazy.
Yeah.
To conceptualize and think about.
I know. I was thinking about that too because she must have had her first kid when she was 27.
God.
Child bride.
Damn.
Babies having babies.
That's when my mom had me. I'm like, whoa.
How did that happen?
Hello. I was drinking Wolfer Estate ciders by like the dozen every Saturday.
Yeah. Well, what's also crazy is like there are certain people. I'm on TikTok now, just like because this has become my entire life. I don't think like everyone fully understands that it's my entire life, but so like my whole algorithm is this, and there have been like genuinely smart people who I follow and respect who just have, you know, brought up a couple of things that honestly I am kind of like, oh, that is kind of weird, or like that is a little sus.
Yeah.
And then I've genuinely watched some videos where I'm like, oh, Patrick did do it. Like, and I'm like, oh my God, my sense of reality is completely like unhinged from anything. It's just like it just goes wherever the wind blows now.
Well, also just like back to tie it back to seeking community, like I feel like it's the wrong root source, but I don't even think people actually believe these things. I think that it's just a way for people to feel connected around one story or like one moment in time. And then you zoom out and it's like, oh my God, you guys are literally like playing chess with a very horrific real story. Like this happened actually physically in real life.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about that too, because as we're recording today, the news dropped yesterday that Hayden Panettiere died.
Oh my God.
And I've already started seeing people being like, they killed her. She started speaking out about like sexual abuse and therefore they killed her. And I'm like, I think people need to understand that like someone can die at their own hand, and it doesn't mean that like these people or this experience didn't contribute to that. Like
totally.
But it also doesn't.
She's a child star.
People don't have to like, someone didn't have to come into her apartment and like drug her in order for them to be responsible, at least in part. But it's like, I think people take everything so literally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally. And like, I mean, I'm sure you saw this too about just like people canceling Neutrogena now out of the blue because they, I guess, allegedly like pulled a commercial that she was in shortly after an interview that she had given about her postpartum depression.
Yeah. They like basically didn't renew her contract after that.
Right. Which is crazy. Like a hideous, insidious thing to do.
Hideous Insidious.
Hideous Insidious.
Okay, if this episode wasn't going to be called Floundering 50, it would be called Hideous Insidious.
Bars, by the way. Bars. Yeah, I just, again, it's just like, I think it helps people feel a little bit better about the situation to think that it was like someone came into her room in the middle of the night and like put a pillow over her face. Mm-hmm. It's like, no, she was just sad enough to take her own life.
Well, yeah, and it's like, of course, this is a product of her experiences.
100%.
Like, that doesn't mean that there's like a smoking gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that everyone is just like going insane because of course, like there's truth to all of it. Like there's truth to Patrick Clancy probably being a shitty husband and being dismissive of his wife's symptoms, and that being a huge issue because how is she supposed to advocate for herself when she's going through a mental health crisis?
Yeah.
And her husband is just being like a freaking wet blanket.
Yeah. Yes. I think honestly, if I was to pinpoint it, the scariest part of that whole trial to me is that this was a normal family going through really normal and unfortunate life circumstances, like the trials and tribulations and ups and downs that come with marriage and motherhood.
Mm-hmm.
And it just had an extremely unfortunate ending.
Mm-hmm.
But everything that led up to that point, unfortunately, I feel like is like a pretty normal story about what it means to be an overworked and deeply sad mom in America.
Yeah. And like, I mean, I talked about this in the last episode, but like having children with men is like one of the most dangerous things you can do.
You are really rolling the dice, girl. Yeah.
Because also it feels like sometimes you have the kid and then like the husband becomes a different guy.
Totally.
And I'm like, hello?
Yeah.
They need to get it fucking together, dude. I can't handle these guys.
I know.
If they would just like have a spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
Have an ego death. Stop being like this.
I think the men who are in touch with their emotions, and there are some, need to like evangelize that a little bit more.
Totally.
Like build a little platform for yourself.
The problem is with them is that as soon as they build a platform, they become
intolerable.
They become like ego obsessed again.
Yeah. No, totally.
It's like they cannot, even like the most, elevated guys like are accused sometimes of being cult-like narcissists.
Yeah.
So
God.
Women only, matriarchy era loading.
Totally.
Like women should run everything.
100%.
Men should become little
pawns.
Little pawns. And they should just...
I think they'd be pretty good at that, actually. I think they'd fall in line pretty quickly. Ultimately, I think men do want to be like mothered. That's all they ever want.
Yes.
So just like think about what that means for
Embrace matriarchy. You guys will love it.
Being mothered a little bit. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a really good time.
Suckle at the teat of matriarchy.
I'm going to have snacks. I'm going to have so many snacks.
We're going to have orange slices.
My minivan does have a drop-down DVD player. Like, get in. And bring your friends.
And we're going to get pizza.
And you guys can watch whatever movie you want in the basement, but I do have to approve it.
Yeah. Just let me know what it is. And it can even be Jackass if you want.
Totally.
People can still like that.
As long as I can watch too.
Well, I think we have solved the gender wars.
Totally.
And the cultural psychosis that everyone is in.
100%.
So I'm glad that we did that.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you. I've been so in my head about this trial. So of course it's really important for me to be able to talk about it with one of the scholars on the topic.
I am a scholar. It's actually, I have not made a TikTok about this because everyone,
you'll become for in a way that's...
First of all, they got it covered.
Totally.
No, people don't need another voice added to this.
Totally.
But it is constantly on my mind.
Yep.
And, I'm rooting for her to be found not guilty, to be honest.
Same, because I think that she just needs TLC.
She's going to have a horrible life. Like,
in or out of jail, it's not going to be a pretty road for her. Right. And I think that we can all agree. I mean, maybe not, but in my... I think
bite your tongue.
Perhaps maybe me saying this out loud, I might get you to agree with me that I don't think that she's in imminent danger anymore.
She's not. She's paralyzed.
She's paralyzed and she is flattened.
And by the way,
she's lost everything.
The prosecution is trying to get us to believe that her suicide attempt was like half-hearted. And it's like, girl, she's paralyzed from the sternum down.
They were like, she slid down the window. She didn't jump from it. I was like, I am going to end my own existence after hearing something like that. And that's where I'm like, I wonder how some of these like prosecutors like Can you imagine like with your coffee and your donuts in the morning around a boardroom table, like brainstorming that out?
No. I could go in on these prosecutors who I think are butchering this so bad and they're being so annoying.
Like, who cares if she slid down 2 flights of stairs or
the end result is that she is paralyzed. Therefore, I think that your argument is stupid.
I think it's a moot point, Dada.
Like, I understand if it's like, oh, somebody took like 10 Advil. Like, that was a half-hearted attempt.
She literally took a knife to
She literally tried 4 different ways to kill herself.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot.
She wanted an out. I don't know how much more clear that can be.
Yeah.
So anyway, on that note, we are of course with her.
We stand with her.
And I think maybe we should do our very best to put a punctuation point on Floundering 50, Insidious Hideous.
Insidious Hideous. Yeah. Well, on that note, should we do our closing segment?
I think it's time.
Okay, well, we have a closing segment called Message in a Bottle. This is going to be our 50th time doing it. Although I don't know if it is because I feel like in the first couple episodes we didn't have Message in a Bottle.
We'll call it, let's put it at like 35.
Okay, 35.
This is our 35th Message in a Bottle.
Okay, wow.
Mark that down actually because we'll count up from here.
Sure, okay. It's where we send a note of love and gratitude out into the ether.
Yes.
So would you like to go?
Sure. Mine, I think it's important that I go first because it's extremely bad. And I know that yours is going to be really uplifting and sweet.
Okay.
So we'll get mine out of the way.
I can't believe yours is bad.
It's just uninspired.
Okay.
As they often are. My message in a bottle goes out to plantar fasciitis ankle braces. Your girl has been suffering recently.
What's plantar fasciitis?
So again, it's one of those things that it basically, yes. It's like,
I think I have that.
You probably, so many people do, but it's basically, it often happens with your first step in the morning where you get out of bed and you feel like intense pain in your heels.
Okay.
So that's been happening to me to a degree where I have to like Grinch style tiptoe to the bathroom in the morning, praying mantis style, so that my heels don't touch the ground. And I've been like, this is just forever now. My calves will look great, obviously, because I'm doing a calf workout to the bathroom in the middle of the night 100 times over. But my dad also had it, and he turned me on to a little ankle brace that you can wear at night so that your feet, basically plantar fasciitis, if you sleep with your toes pointed, it strains the fascia of the plantar.
Okay.
But if you brace them so that they sleep erect, you actually alleviate that pain from the ankle.
It's like Barbie style.
It's Barbie style, except the other way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's like, imagine if Barbie was maybe like put over a candle and someone like melted her feet backwards.
So do you wear them on both feet?
So right now I'm wearing one just on my left foot because that one hurts the most. But I will probably alternate because they're both bad. But I don't know if you've ever been inside of like a Duane Reade and you've gone down like the medical device aisle and you're like, who buys these? Guess what? Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm buying those ankle braces.
Okay.
And they're hard on the outside. Like it really feels like a cast.
Sturdy.
It's something sturdy.
Okay.
So
it's helping?
It's helping a lot.
That's so good.
So, and speaking of, and this is maybe like a broader message in a bottle about getting to the bottom of things that you love to complain about, Isabelle. I'm getting an MRI for my hip on Thursday.
Okay.
Because we've discussed I have a bad hip. It's been really bothering me. And the lingering pain has, of course, sparked fear about /Reddit community bone cancer.
Yeah, r/bone cancer.
r/bone cancer.
For sure.
Which,
is
basically pinned on the top of my Google searches.
I have to say, because when I had a bone tumor, famously.
You did.
My oncologist told me that basically he had another patient who had a tumor in her hip.
Okay.
But because it's not like weight bearing, it didn't like hurt.
Oh.
So
the fact that it hurts.
The fact that it hurts means it's actually not a tumor.
Maybe a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also I'm not a doctor.
No. But honestly, I will be writing that down and giving that as evidence to the doctor on Thursday. I got an x-ray on it and the doctor was basically like, it looks like there's like a an abnormality with the way that one of your bones is shaped. Where I was like, please keep those thoughts to yourself. I didn't need to hear that.
Maybe it's like just a little bit of wear and tear.
A little bit of wear and tear.
Have you had an MRI before?
No, first one.
Okay. Enjoy that.
And I'm assuming
loud as fuck and scary.
Yep.
But luckily they'll probably only put you like halfway in.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. I do not like the questionnaire about like, do you have metal in your body? I'm like, I don't think so.
And you wouldn't believe that a machine could be so loud, or that taking a picture could be so loud.
Be so loud.
It is crazy. It's like that thing is taking a picture, but it sounds like
it's like here I can turn my phone camera sound on and off, and you're telling me that you can't do the same with that.
Like not only am I hearing it, but I'm feeling the vibrations of the sounds.
The like chunk.
It's like. I'm sure you guys really liked that.
Did they let you pick a station or music thing to listen to?
I listened to, and this was before anything bad happened, Gavin DeGraw Radio.
Heyo.
It's before we knew about him.
Oh my God, I'm really going to have to put some thought into what radio station I want.
I think they do it on Spotify, so it's like you can kind of do like Ingrid Michaelson radio, yeah.
Okay, something chill. Yeah. I'm gonna put
You'll
some thought
figure it
into
out.
that.
Japanese breakfast.
That's great.
You'll love that.
That's good. I like that.
Or you could do one of your own playlists that you made me.
Oh, like you can sign in. I guess if it's public, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Sure, probably.
Okay.
I guess it depends on like where you get it. But
well, anyway, that's all to say that my message in a bottle goes out to getting to the bottom of medical ailments so that you can clear the slate of your anxiety and move on with your life for once.
We will be posting Isabelle's test results on Floundering Instagram.
MRI images,
so
loading.
Everyone stay tuned for that.
Yep,
follow
big
us. Time. Okay, closing out the episode, my message in a bottle goes out to former guest, dear friend, Ash Diggs,
we love
comedian.
Him so much.
We love him. And actually, it's like the subcategory of the message in a bottle is just like having one-on-one drinks with a friend. Oh. I'm sure we've done this before on the podcast, but we caught up a couple weeks ago. We got drinks and we closed down the bar because it was just like so lovely to just chat and catch up about everything.
He's like top 3 conversationalists.
He's so good. He's a great listener. He's just like such a good guy. Speaking of like men, it's like
men who can stay.
He can stay. Like he's literally so kind, so sweet, like genuine. And then on top of that, a generational talent, as I told him.
He is, he's one of a kind.
He just did his hour of stand-up at Union Hall, which I did attend, and it was such a joy and delight. Like, he is so fun to watch, and it's just like, wow, having a friend who is so kind, genuine, sweet, funny, and then on top of that, like, so talented, and I like really respect and look up to him. It's like, what could be better?
He deserves the world.
He deserves everything.
I wish I was there. I was out of town. But he sold out the show, and I've only been seeing rave reviews, and he really is just like, he is a light. Like, he's the warmest, sweetest guy ever.
I love him. I want to give him a big hug. So this is my attempt at hugging him through my message in a bottle.
Yeah.
And he won't listen to this, but I will tell him that we spoke
it's important.
highly of him.
It's important that he knows.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Floundering 50
is a
wrap.
We
made it, mama. We did it.
And here's to 50 more, potentially, hopefully not over a 3-year period.
No, I think that now we can hold our feet to the fire and kind of like crank the 50 out in the way that like most people who have a podcast would, which is kind of like bi-weekly.
Let's do it bi-weekly. Okay, if it's bi-weekly, that means we would theoretically do like 22 episodes in a year.
Mm-hmm.
So we could knock him out in 2.
We could knock it out soon if we wanted to.
Time flies.
Time flies.
Well, until next time.
Carey.
Isabelle.
I love you.
I love you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.